There is one mindset change that can change your life if you're sober curious. What is it? Take action before you feel like you need to. I've seen the question, how do I know if I have a problem with my drinking, come up multiple times over the 14 months that I've been alcohol free. And here's the secret. You don't need to have a problem to decide that alcohol isn't for you. Don't let the evidence stack up on you like that. Just nip it in the bud right now. In this video, I'm going to break down the 3 steps to making the alcohol-free transition. Step number 1, assess alcohol's impact on you. I look at life with 4 main pillars: physical, mental, emotional, and social. Now, the physical is how you actually feel in your body. Do you wake up with your muscles feeling like they weren't really repaired from a workout? Do you feel tired and groggy and foggy when you wake up? Mentally, do you feel like you forget things? Do you have brain fog? Are you just not really feeling clarity? Emotionally, do you suppress feelings? Are you in touch with your emotions when things happen? Do you get avoidant or anxious? And socially, how are your relationships with your peers, your friends, your colleagues, partner, family, and everyone like that? Are they positive, joyful? Are they strained? Where do those all sit? You really have to be honest with yourself during this period of reflection, because these 4 pillars make up our life, and alcohol impacts all of them in different ways. It's also important to look at your relationship with alcohol on the day-to-day. If you decide to drink one night, can you control how much you drink, or do you start to spiral into having more than you thought? Do you wake up frequently with hangovers or negative feelings? And do you have anxiety, shame, embarrassment about things you did the previous night more or less often? Then there's also 2 frames I like to use when analyzing this that I think put this in a different perspective. The first is, what will life look like in 10 years if you continue to drink like you are right now? Will you be happy with life? Will you have a problem at that point? What will that look like? And the second is, will you regret continue to drinking the way you do now if you do? You're the only one that knows how you wake up in terms of how you're feeling, the emotions you're feeling, and how your body feels. And if you keep on doing this, will you start regretting not having taken action sooner? Which brings us to step number 2, which is decide on a plan. Are you going to reduce your alcohol consumption or cut it out completely? Personally, I like to cut it out completely because it gives you a true representation of what it's like to see how alcohol impacts you when you're drinking and when you're not drinking. If you lower your consumption and reduce it, it's still super helpful, but I don't think it's a true one-to-one comparison when you're deciding later. Then you also have to give a timestamp to this. So are you going to try for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 6 months? I think this is really personal, but it also depends on how much alcohol is impacting you. If you're somebody who has pretty minimal impact, 30 days or 60 days should be enough for you to really see the difference. But if you're somebody who has a lot of impact, then 3 or 6 months is better, because you can actually start to see the rewards of being alcohol free in that time span in terms of some of the other, deeper, longer term things, and it'll allow you to make a better one-to-one comparison. Now we've talked about how much you're going to reduce your alcohol intake as well as for how long. It's all the other details in the plan that make the plan realistic and something you could actually stick to. So that's things like, what hobbies and activities are you going to do in the free time that is now generated by not drinking? Naturally, when you stop drinking or you don't have hangovers, you have free time in your schedule that comes up. This is stuff maybe on the weekends, but also maybe in the week. Now, if you don't have anything to slot into this time, you're going to be pretty bored and might regret the choice. But if you have hobbies and activities, then you can fill this time and life becomes way more positive and joyful. If things come to mind instantly and you're thinking, oh yeah, I would do X, Y, and Z, that's great. But if you're somebody who doesn't really know what you like to do because a lot of your time is spent just hanging out with people and drinking, then there are a few strategies you can look at. What are things that you used to do as a kid that you stopped doing? What are things that you're thinking about doing a lot, but you've just never actually taken the step to do? And what are things you spend your time and energy looking at? And money too. Anywhere you spend money or time or energy is usually a passion if it's not work related. Also, you got to look at who in your circle is supportive. So obviously you want to spend your time with people who are supportive of this lifestyle shift, because if you don't, then it's going to be surrounded by people who might not be supportive, and they might pressure you to drink, and that will just be way less fun for you, and you might also cave in. But if you refine your circle during this time to people who are supportive of you, you can have a lot of fun still, even if they're drinking and you're not. Then the other thing to decide here is if you're going to be drinking non-alcoholic beverages. There's a lot of amazing NA beers, NA cocktails, NA spirits, and just other alternative drinks out there. There are people who usually come from a substance abuse background that decide that drinking those types of drinks are putting them too close to alcohol and it's almost like a trigger for them. And I totally understand that. But personally, because I don't come from that background, I just knew alcohol wasn't serving me and I didn't want to have it in my life. Then drinking those types of things is really great because they make me feel like I'm still in the social situation. The NA beers taste just like regular beer and the other drinks taste good too. So you have to decide if you're going to consume those or not. If you are, then I would say go stock up and go to the local grocery store, the local bottle shop, or if you're in a big city like New York or LA, they even have NA dedicated bottle shops. You can go to those places, stock up, and then you won't feel like you don't have anything to drink at home. And if you aren't going to drink those, then just have a few orders of things you want to have when you go out. A Coke, a tonic, a lime and club soda, whatever it might be. Just that way you don't get in an awkward situation where a waiter or a bartender asks you what you want and you kind of freeze. So step 1 and 2 are things you're doing when you're making the decision to make a change. And then you actually have to implement it for the period of time that you set out. That's not a step in itself because it's just acting on the plan. But that ultimately brings us to step 3, which is to review and revise the plan. So now you have to look at how you feel in the 4 domains we covered: physically, mentally, emotionally, socially. Usually after a period of being alcohol-free or significantly reduced alcohol, you'll feel better physically and mentally. On the physical side, you might feel like you slept better, your muscles feel better, you just have more energy and better mood. On the mental side, you might feel like you have less brain fog, more clarity, more energy and attention and focus, all really positive things. It's on the emotional and social sides where you might have indicators that you're on the right path, but they might not feel great yet. So what do I mean by this? On the emotional side, you might be feeling a lot of emotions because the alcohol suppressant isn't there. So maybe you feel anxiety or fear or anger or things like that that usually you would have been suppressing. Now these obviously feel negative, but it's a sign that you're getting onto the path of developing and controlling your emotions. 30, 60 days might not be enough for you to realistically be able to learn how to control them and learn how to process them. And that's okay, but it still means you're on the right path. So it's not a bad thing that it doesn't feel great because you are feeling something at all. It's kind of the same on the social side where there's people you'll realize you just don't like that much sober, or they're just drinking buddies that you don't have that much in common with. They'll fade, and that's great because it makes room for new, stronger, more authentic relationships in your life. But after 30 to 60 days, those people might not have come in yet. The new ones, at least. You might be losing the old ones, but not have replacements just yet. And in that case, it can feel pretty tough, and I understand. But if you keep on with the lifestyle, you will make those new friends, and that'll be really beneficial. So although you might not be feeling great socially, if you feel like the relationships you are maintaining are more authentic, then that's a sign that you're on the right path, and then new people will come in eventually. So after you assess all of these domains authentically and honestly with yourself, then it's up to you to decide if you're going to extend your alcohol-free or reduced alcohol lifestyle, if you're going to just commit to it indefinitely, or if you decide it's not for you and you're going to go back to the way it was. And ultimately, any of these 3 choices are okay, and I'm proud of you for even getting to this point. Having the data of drinking life and alcohol-free life and being able to choose between them once you've done them means that you're making a choice that's for you, not just because that was the way you always did it. If you want to reintroduce alcohol, then you do you. I talk about being alcohol-free, and that's my preference, but you don't have to do that. I can never put that on anyone. I'm just happy that you actually took the time to try it and then make a judgment call from there. But if you do decide to maintain an alcohol-free or reduced alcohol life, the 2 things to consider here and the 2 reflections to have are 1, where did you fall flat? And 2, where did you really enjoy yourself? So when looking at where you fell flat, look at situations and people that made you feel not as great, maybe more awkward or uncomfortable, or where you maybe swapped in the bad habit of drinking with something else, like you used your phone a lot, or you played a lot of video games, or did something else unproductive. These are things you'll want to work on moving forward, but it's just good to have that data in your back pocket. Then on the positive side, look at the people and the situations where you really felt like you were just in flow, had a great time, really joyous memories, and just do more of that. The benefit of this whole thing is that you look moving forward by adding more of the good and reducing or swapping out some of the bad. And ultimately, your alcohol-free lifestyle will just get better and better and better as you do this review and revise analysis. So those are the 3 steps to taking action before you feel like you need to. 1, assess alcohol's impact on your life. 2, decide on an action plan. 3, review and revise that plan. Personally, I cut out alcohol because I knew that it wasn't serving me and it was having a negative impact on my life. As I said, I don't come from a background of alcohol abuse or substance abuse, so that's not really what I talk about. I just talk about how reducing alcohol can make a positive impact on all aspects of your life. And that's why I make videos for other people like you in the hopes that it can help other people too. If alcohol is not serving you, follow these steps to at least start the process of seeing if it belongs in your life. If you want more resources, check out the description below. And if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel for more alcohol-free and self-improvement videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.